Yeah, hi there. In this tutorial, we are going to cover Python's time module. So before we start Python's time module, we have to understand one term, which is epoch. So what is an epoch? So basically, it's a fixed point in time from which other times can be represented as a distance from that time. So in Windows and Unix, this is represented as January 1, 1970, midnight. So to understand it in a simple way, let's say we have integers. So we have 0, and then on the positive side we have 1 2 3 4, and on the negative side we have -1 -2 -3. Okay, so we can just for the understanding purpose you can say 0 is, let's say, if it's an epoch, then 1 means one day after that epoch, and 2 that is plus 2 positive 2 means 2 days after the epoch day. Similarly, -1 means one day before the epoch, and -2 means 2 days before the epoch. So if I take it as an example here, let's say today is set as an epoch. Okay, then 1 means that is next day, that is tomorrow. 2 means day after tomorrow. -1 means yesterday. -2 means day before yesterday, like that. So basically this is just a fixed time from which other times are represented as a distance, like how many uh, seconds or days or months away from this particular time. Okay, so some basic functions which are available in the time module are: first is time. What it does, it actually returns the current time in seconds from the epoch. Since we know in Windows and Unix it is represented as January 1, 1970, midnight, so it will return number of seconds since January 1, 1970, midnight. Other function is time underscore ns. It returns the same current time in but in the nanoseconds. Now C time is, it returns the time in the timestamp format, which is easily human readable. GM time, so it returns the GMT time in the struct time object, and local time is actually returns the local time. So we'll see all these. So to start with, we have to import the module time. So import time, and if I want to print the time, what is the current GMT time? So I'll say time dot GMT, and 0 means so if you see, since this is, if you are passing 0, it means it is number of seconds since epoch. Since it is 0, so it will represent the epoch time. So if you see, this is the first thing you are getting: time dot struct 1971 1. So it means 1st of January 1970 is represented as epoch. This is what is given. Now I want to see what is the number of seconds that have passed since epoch. So I'll say time dot time. So it will give me like this. If I run this function, then I'll get these many number of seconds have passed since epoch. Now one thing is, we can, since it is a number of seconds, you can convert it into, we can divide it into number of seconds in a year that we have, and if we divide it, then we get 50. So it means roughly around 50 years have happened since, because it is 2020, and the epoch year is 1970, so 50 years have passed by. Now these all are difficult to understand. So what we need is something that is humanly readable. So we say time dot c time. So if I do time dot c time, then this is the output that we get, that is Wednesday, July 22 1 3, that is 1 a.m. 3 minute and 50 seconds. So this is the time format, which is the current time format, and it is humanly readable, and it's in a string format. Okay, the advantage of representing time as a distance from epoch is that the calculations can be performed easily. For example, let's say if you have t1, which is time dot time, and if I sleep for 3 seconds and again calculate t2, which is again time dot time, that is the current time. Okay, now it's easy for us to subtract t2 minus t1 and find out the number of seconds that have elapsed between the two. So if you see, it will get around 3 seconds. Now, when we are talking about the time, there is a concept of time zone. So for time zone, we have to first know what is UTC. UTC is Coordinated Universal Time. It acts as a reference time zone. So just like for the time, we had epoch as a reference point. Okay. Similarly, for time zones, we have UTC as a reference time zone. And other time zones, they are actually defined as offset from UTC. That is +1, +2 R from UTC, +3 R from UTC, and so on. Similarly, -1, -2, -3 hours from UTC. GMT is one such time zone which is actually UTC plus 0.0. That is, it represents the same time as UTC, but now it is actually allocated to a region. So GMT, which is Greenwich Mean Time. So if I have to print local time, so how do we do this? We say time dot local time. It will print the local time. This is what it is printing in a complete structured format like year, month, days, 22 hour, minutes, seconds, what is a weekday, and year of the day, and whether date sign date day saving is there or not, daylight saving is there or not. For this, since it is not there, so it is 0. Now if I want to find out what is the time zone in which I am right now, so I'll say time dot local time. Now since if you see this is structure, this returns the output in the form of a structure, so we can extract different components or different elements from it. So if I want to extract the time zone, so I'll say time dot local time dot tm underscore zone, so I'll get the time zone. So that my time zone is because I'm in India, so it's an Indian Standard Time Zone. Now, how far is this my time zone is from GMT? Okay, then I'll say time dot local time dot tm underscore GMT off, and I'll divide it by 60 into 60. So it says roughly 5 hours and 5.5 hours. I'm uh, on the positive. That is, I'm UTC or GMT plus 5.5 hours. Okay, now again, this we have already seen time dot GMT time. Uh, if we are not passing anything to it, then it will give the current time of the GMT time zone. So it will give 2020, 7, 21, and I mean whatever the current time is in GMT. Now we can extract different components from, as we saw, we extracted time zone. Similarly, we can extract year. If I say time dot local time dot tm underscore year, I can extract year. So there are different components within a time like year, month, day, whatever we are seeing here. We can extract all these values from the local time. Now, now another thing we need to do is we need to understand how to represent the time in string format, because often there's a requirement to represent the time in different formats and different string formats. So default is time dot asc time. So if you see, the output is like this: Wednesday, July 22, 1 hour 3 minutes 53 seconds, and year is 2020. So this is how it is represented in the default. Now we can customize it. What we can do is we can use another function time.strf time, in which we can pass the time format. So capital Y is for year, in the century format, M is month, D is day, and again we have to pass the time which we want to format. So this is time dot local time. So I want to present the local time in the form of y dash dash dd. Then we can use this. So there are some fancy ways in which we can transform our current local time zone. Let's say I want to display it like this: today is dash day and that particular date. Then I'll say time dot strf time, and within quotes I'll specify the format. Today is percent capital A means what is the day, which it represents the full day. Instead of if you say percent small a, then it will represent acronym like MON or TUE for that particular day, and capital A represents the full day name like Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, and so on. Now after this I'm specifying the format as percent D, which is date, day part, M is month part, Y is capital Y is year part in the form of century, and this is the local time zone. So if you see, the output is like this: today is Wednesday, comma, so I have specified here comma, and then the actual date. So in this way we can present our if the requirement is, to display the current time or some other time in any specific string format, in a presentable format, then we can do it using time.strf time. The inverse of it is time.strip time, strp time. So what it does, it actually converts the string formatted time into the actual structured formatted time, the struct format. So what I'm passing to it is the string representation of a date, which is year dash month dash day. And then we have to tell, okay, what is the format of this? So I have to specify %y dash %m and then dash %d. So it will give me in the output as a, if you see here, in the structured time, which is year, month, and day. And since I have not passed any other thing, so it will return other things as 0. So this way we can use time module to do the calculation between the two different timestamps, to convert a timestamp in any specific string format, and then again from the string format we can convert it back into the time format, and also using the local time, or we can extract the different components from a local time. So that's it in this tutorial. Thank you.